How many suits does a man need? Do you need to try every fabric, every color, every pattern? No, absolutely not. Should you get a black suit for your first suit? No. Should you get a grey suit for your first suit? Yes, perhaps. Is a grey suit boring? No. Not convinced? Well, let's take a look at the grey suit through the lens of Christian Grey in the movie 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, this is something of a departure for me movie-wise, but if you have seen the movie, then like me, you may not have had a choice. Hi, I'm Michael, and welcome to my channel for the love of suits. If you're new here, we try to find inspiration on how to dress well from the best dressed men on the screen. We drop a new video every Wednesday and shorts throughout the week. In this wonderful opening scene here, you will see something familiar. I've referred to it before. The most famous scene I can recall is the one in The Fly, where Jeff Goldblum opens his wardrobe to reveal the same suit and same shirt. Here we have this again. I know the theory is that rich billionaires don't have time to choose their clothes, so they only have one type of clothing. I think it's an affectation, and that if you have a wardrobe full of suits and clothes that match, you don't need to spend more than a couple of minutes in the morning getting dressed. But despite the lack of adventure in his wardrobe, I do like the layout and I envy the amount of space he has to hang his suits and shirts. This is a fabulous wardrobe, and you should be so lucky to have this much space at home. And of course, being rich, he has a drawer full of very nice accessories to go with his clothing, including a very nice watch collection. Hard to see exactly which watch is which, but I know there's Omegas in there. And as for his necktie collection, all grey to match his grey suits, but an excellent selection of different patterns. But it goes to show you do not need a huge variety of colour to look smart. But I'm quite sure Christian has a variety of grey suits hanging in his wardrobe. And if you're wondering where these suits came from, they were custom made for the movie, and they were made by various different tailors as they didn't have much time to get the full wardrobe ready for the movie. They're designed by Mark Bridges, an award-winning costume designer. Because of Christian's background, they used the finest Italian wool in all his suits to reflect the lifestyle of a billionaire. Unsurprisingly, he wears peak lapels on his jacket. It's a classic two-button business suit, and he has double vents at the back. The suit is a classic cut, with strong shoulders and a narrow waist to emphasize the manliness of his physique. And this is a nice moment where he gets up behind the desk. I've seen it done many times before. Sean Connery did it a lot. He gets up to impress Anastasia, but when he does that, he buttons or unbuttons his jacket. This is a nice move whether you're getting up from your chair or entering a room for the first time and you're a little unsure of what to do with your hands. Either buttoning or unbuttoning that top button on your jacket draws attention to the V shape of the jacket and emphasizes your manliness and gives yourself something to do with your hands so you don't look nervous. And as we see him stand up and walk around the desk here, we get a look at the full suit. Pay attention to the proportions. Classic proportions with a nice long jacket. He looks very elegant indeed. Balance is very important in a jacket, which is why I absolutely despise that trend a few years ago of the short jacket. It throws all the balance completely out and is very inelegant despite being a suit. If you're enjoying this video so far, then please hit that like button. And better yet, subscribe and hit the notifications bell. It really helps the channel and I really appreciate it. Also, check out our comments section. We have a great community there. And here we have one of the most contentious issues in movies that feature suits, the collar gap. This appears in almost every movie. In this movie, we see it several times, unfortunately, and I've seen it in many James Bond movies and other multi-million-dollar productions. Even though they have wardrobe people and continuity people, this happens frequently. The collar gap is that gap at the back between the collar of the shirt and the collar of the jacket. If you were to adjust your jacket so, you would see a collar gap there. You shouldn't have one of those. It's literally as easy as doing that every time you stand up or sit down and checking that you don't have a collar gap. However, I think this is a movie problem, not a wardrobe problem. They're doing multiple takes all the time. It's a very small detail to look out for. It doesn't bother me too much, but I know it bothers a hell of a lot of you because I get mentions on it all the time when I show clips that have collar gaps in them. But it is something to be aware of, even though it's only people like us that wouldn't notice it. And here we see him slipping into something a lot more comfortable, quite a chunky V-neck sweater. I've looked online and I cannot find who makes this or where it's from. And here he has on a new suit. It's a three-piece suit, but it's still a two-button jacket with peak lapels. The lapel size is perfect for his frame. But on the close-ups, we can tell that it's a different fabric with some different stitching around the collar. And here we have a scene where he removes his necktie. I have reliable information that women find this very alluring and very attractive, particularly on their husbands who comes home after a long day at work. Either loosening up that tie or taking it off or removing it has a lot of appeal for women. And I know some people balk at a three-piece suit being worn with no necktie. I think it's a good look and it's absolutely fine. And I absolutely love this scene where they go to the coffee shop and he's still wearing his three-piece suit, even though he has the necktie off. I'm doing a series of videos for a client at the moment where we're showing people in restaurants and just having casual coffee, but very well dressed. A well-made suit and a well-fitted suit is an extremely comfortable piece of attire to wear, and you should be able to lounge around having a coffee in it. After all, suits were originally called lounge suits for that very reason. We will see a lot of his sweaters have V-necks. The V of a V-neck is actually a very strong masculine shape. It echoes the V of the jacket lapels, so when you're dressing casual, it's good to consider wearing V-necks rather than round necks. Another good look for men when you're dressing casually without a jacket is to wear the sweater without a t-shirt or shirt underneath. If you have any decent shoulders at all, the strength of your shoulders will show through the sweater without being obscured by the fabric underneath, and it's a very good look for men for casual wear. And in this scene, he's wearing a blue suit with notched lapels and an open collar with no necktie. You can see the beautiful quality of the fabric in this suit. It's a fact that women love a man in a suit. And although he's wearing no necktie, there is a little detail here, if you'll notice, that will help win the heart of any woman. A helicopter with his name on it. Another grey suit and white shirt, but this time a white pocket square and a much lighter tie. This shows that there's plenty of variety in keeping your wardrobe simple without having to choose too many colours. And here he's wearing black on black. Black suit with a black shirt. It's a look we've seen in movies before, and it's a look you see sometimes on the red carpet in Hollywood. It's an excellent look for any nighttime scene. If you're going on a date or you're just going to a party, you can look very slick and very cool. But as I've explained before, a black suit is not very flexible, so you're definitely better off getting a grey suit for your first suit. And for the final suit of the movie, if you have a collection of suits, everybody must have one of these in their collection, a pinstripe suit. Again, a beautiful Italian fabric with peak lapels. So what do you think of the grey suit? Power move, dull and boring, or versatile enough to have an entire wardrobe full of nothing but grey suits? I actually have 3 grey suits myself. This suit I'm wearing here, which is a fabric called Fresco, which is quite tactile and very rough. Looks great, not so soft to the touch, but I like it. I also have a dark grey flannel chalk stripe suit, and one other very lightweight fabric for the summer made from tropical weight wool. I'll be wearing both of those in front of the camera at some stage. So interested to know how many of you guys have seen this movie or have even contemplated watching it. If it's not for you, what do you think of the way the suits are presented in this movie? As usual, I very much look forward to reading your comments. Thank you very much for watching to the end. I really appreciate it. It really helps the channel, and I'll see you next week with a new video.